Good evening, people. Turn it up. We're using Sons of Liberty countdown there. Yes. And we're back. We are back. What's up, YouTube? Good and decent people of YouTube. Welcome to. Excuse me, let me get this, turn this on down here. Hey, by the way, that's Team Box kind of instrumental right there. Team Box production music thing. But hey, welcome, YouTube. Welcome to the North American Report. Right here, 10 o'clock on Political Drain channel on YouTube. This is the first North American Report. My name is Bruce Lively, a.k.a. Drill Sergeant, a.k.a. Doug. Listen, we're here not every Friday, but when we do show up, it'll be to talk about Canada, U.S., and Mexican politics. Yes, Mexican politics. We're trying to find, are you the right one? Do you want to have a place on this panel here? We're looking for a few. But we got the news that you've seen the thumbnail, the North American Report. We're doing it differently. And to that point, my illustrious, illuminated, intelligent, and well-informed co-host from the 51st state of America, Canada.
I'm going to go all Canadian goose on you.
Listen, you got to understand, Laura Malcolm, we have never had, what's good, Dave Ingham? We've never had a chance in my lifetime to make fun of Canadian politics and the intrigue and infighting and buffoonery and the type of things that we go through all the time.
True.
So
you just only noticed, though, because your moron in chief there took a shot or two.
Yes.
Otherwise, it's kind of like business as usual here.
Well, you do know what, though? From what I hear, it's even the reason why most Canadians aren't really as politically involved in Canadian politics as they are in American politics, because it's boring. We want to go back to boring. This is what it's supposed to be, full of people with cooler heads, and every now and then, you get something to march about. But what we're going through here, America, North America, I'm sorry. From America, from the USA, I'm sorry. I know everything that we're talking about tonight, uh, in some way or form, can be led back to the foolishness that we have unleashed on North America in 2016 and really 2015, right? Um, so we're sorry, but what's going on up there is really unique, man. You guys got some MAGA Trumpers up there. Um,
Yeah.
it's wild. And our Mexican news, I'm gonna try to find it in the great country of Mexico. We see them doing some ramping up of deporting, or not deporting, ramping up of migrants coming from other countries that may have come through their country. They're rounding up their own. And although the Mexican president, I don't want to missay her name, so I'll make sure I have it up here before I say it, had a strong face. It looks like internally, even they might be crumpling to the whims of a bully dictator. And people, it's about daggone time that we in the U.S. start looking around us, start seeing what's going on around us, because pretty soon, i.e., January 20th, we're going to start needing news from other countries, from other sources, if we plan on in any way being informed and creating a coalition of decent people. So we're starting that with this show, the North American Report. I guarantee you, whatever it is, whenever it comes, the goal is to have a host from the Mexican region, me from the U.S. region, the illustrious, illuminated Laura Malcolm from Canada, and get the news straight from the sources. Until then, I've been using. I want to make sure that I get their name right as well. Let's take a look. We're going to be getting our news from. I'll show it to you during that time. We'll be getting our news from an actual Mexican source as well that I've actually contacted to see if they want to be a part of this. So if you're watching tonight, guys, when we bring you up, think about it. Anyway, you saw I'm going to try not to go on a super duper rant here, because I got enough rants coming. There was some idiot in the comment section that asked if I read a political book. And the mere fact that you said it like that lets me know that you haven't, that you're an idiot, that you need some correction, and I'm here to bring some course correction for you. But not tonight. I'm not going to go on a rant tonight because I have that yet to do. I'm going to save my rantiness, Laura.
Okay.
You don't believe that?
I'm sure you have lots stored up.
You don't believe that for a second. The way you said "okay" let me know that you don't believe that for a second.
Nope.
All right, guys. Here we go. I wanted to talk about what you saw on the thumbnail. Okay. The biggest news right now is that the U.S. has a president, a brand new president, an unelected president. His name is Elon Musk. We were under the impression that he was the new first lady, and that he was the mistress of Mar-a-Lago, because we couldn't find the other one. She's gone. Can't find her anywhere. The new mistress of Mar-a-Lago, Elon Musk, is what we were under the impression. But as he has his tentacles in China, in North Korea, in India, in Russia, in Ukraine, and in Taiwan, we're coming to find out that this guy really thinks that he can rule the world. His narcissism has ballooned beyond what has ever been seen before. There has been no Zeppelin like it. And he is now our new president, i.e., the Congress, the Republican-led Congress, literally dropped a bill yesterday, completely dropped the bill that they negotiated with the Democrats months ago to keep the government running. This guy tweets, nope, I want a shutdown. And just like that, his second in command, Vice President Trump, came and said, sir, yes, sir, and repeated it. And everybody else in the Republican House, not everybody else, enough people in the Republican House decided to scrap it. Then they brought up their next version. Do we know why this version was better than the other? No, we don't. Do we know what our new dictator, what the new ex-president dictator was looking for in the bill? No, we don't. We have no idea. It was simply to own the libs and to be contrarian and to make sure you have more money to spend on SpaceX than you do on childhood cancer research. The idea was to make sure we have more money to spend on Tesla than we do on North Carolinian homes and businesses destroyed by Hurricane Helene. That was the only thing we know that he wanted. The only thing worth spending any money on is Tesla and SpaceX. So they brought that and it failed. His first, and he's not, the vice president has not even been sworn in yet. Yeah, give it to him. Yes.
Had to.
Thank you. Give me another one. Give me a strong one. Let's get a strong one. I'll take it. I'll take it. Guys, yeah, so that failed. The point is, the most in-depth and the best reporting and the best kind of conclusions we can come about this has come from iHip News. Now, a lot of people have said a lot of things, but the most concise one is what you're about to see here. Unbelievably, these funny girls, these guys, I like to watch them. I don't think of them as the most concise political news, but today they got it. So, Laura, we're going to watch this. We're going to check it out, and we're just going to stop it and literally talk about the things they talk about because it's exactly where I wanted to go. Guys, be prepared to talk about it. And I'd love to know in the comment section here. I see we got Dave Ingham. Appreciate you, my friend, for coming in from all the way from the Sons of Liberty. And if any, we should have, I thought I saw some more. We had like 7 more people watching. If you're not commenting, go ahead and comment. I'll be putting up a goal soon. When I put this goal up, we'll have 30 minutes to do something. I'm not sure what it is yet. But whatever it is, I will personally, as the goal, write and sing before this is over my song of apology to Justin Trudeau for this thumbnail. For that thumbnail. I will sing personally a personal apology. Write the song and sing an apology for anyone who does whatever the goal is. We'll put that up soon. All right, guys, let's listen.
Welcome to iHip News. I would like to review the last 36 hours of Republican cannibalism, incompetence, who's the president, the broke-back billionaires, all the stuff. So night before last, Trump has dinner with Jeff Bezos and Musk. The next morning, he's so excited about this. I had to confirm that this was a real, true social post. And he posts, "Everybody wants to be my friend." Caps lock.
That cannot be real.
No, it's real. "Everybody wants to be my friend" in caps lock. Meanwhile, the Wall Street Journal's like,
no, we're back in.
Biden had diminished.
Back in, Laura. I'm going to tag this back in. I don't know if you heard that. Did you hear that? Did you hear what that lady just said? Good and decent people of YouTube, did you hear this? Our Vice President of the United States, duly elected, mind you, by a majority of the people, wrote this as his tweet or whatever you want to call it.
About this. I had to confirm that this was a real, true social post. And he posts, "Everybody wants to be my friend." Caps lock.
Laura Malcolm, if you're there, I have one thing to say. our president of the our vice president of the United States sounds like one of these children's books. Everybody wants to be my friend in all caps. That's his post.
Yes.
That's his post. People of YouTube,
Dr. Seuss.
you voted for this. Everybody wants to be my friend, Laura. This is what he writes. This is what matters to him. This is on December 19th. This is the same day that the entire Congress is reeling and raving about keeping the government open. This guy writes, everybody wants to be my friend. I need you to, what do you got, Laura? What do you want me to say?
He doesn't have friends.
He doesn't.
He doesn't have friends. But just to tweet that out, no, they don't. Anyways,
They don't. He doesn't. That's what happens when you're born on third base, right? You honestly think you earned the home run. He believes that he never had a friend in school. It was always because he was rich. He never had an actual college career. He got there because his dad paid for it. He never had a real successful business. His dad paid off all of his debts and then gave him more money and more money after he went bankrupt. He's never had a wife who loved him. They all wanted him for his money. He's never had a friend. And now he has 3 more rich billionaires cozying up to him because they know he is a backwards Neanderthal. Anyway, let's listen, guys.
hey, don't insult Neanderthals.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Someone else said that in the comment section. They reminded me that Neanderthals were actually very intelligent. This guy without his safety net of family, he would have died a long time ago. There's no way he could be self-sufficient and survive as a human being with how stupid he wouldn't be able to put his pants on in the morning.
Look how he looked at McDonald's. You think he's capable of even that?
He wasn't.
Chris.
The guy had to hold his hand and put the fries in the dipper. All right, guys.
And he just put whatever he felt like in the bags in here.
All right, can we put 7 of them in there? No, sir, you can't. I don't know if the geometry dictates that the bag has a certain size. All right, guys. I listen. You know what? Let's watch this because everything they say is so pertinent. Let's watch this.
That cannot be real.
No, it's real. Everybody wants to be my friend in caps lock. Meanwhile, the Wall Street Journal's like, Biden had diminished capacity. And we just all float by all of this like it's completely normal. Okay, then.
One little comment about this.
Okay.
When I heard that Bezos was, the Bezos-Trump dinner was attended also by Elon Musk, it made me wonder, is Musk scared that Bezos will gain some kind of favor with Trump when he's not there, so he has to be on watch? And do you think Bezos hates the fact that Musk has more power than Bezos over Trump?
I think first and foremost, Musk made a $250 million investment to buy Donald Trump and put him on a leash. And he has been on a leash accordingly, as evidenced by the last, month or so. I mean, he went to France with him. He is always by his side. He was at the Army-Navy game. And I think Bezos and these other billionaires are like, well, if Musk is going to get all these benefits, then we're going to go and deregulate and make sure our stock goes up as well. So, I mean, basically, we're just heading straight to an oligarchy. And Trump was a useful idiot for the Bible thumpers originally, and now he's a useful idiot for the billionaires, for the oligarchs. And you see how excited he is? Everybody wants to be my friend. He finally has cool friends, and he doesn't have to hang out with these weird Mike Johnson, total far-right, tongue-talking, rattlesnake-holding, crazy Christians. He has cool friends that have cool toys, and he's so excited about it. He took to Truth Social caps lock.
That is insane.
Okay.
All right, there it is. Part 1. There's a lot to break down there. Listen, guys. What we just heard was such an in-depth analysis, said so flippantly that I thought when I saw it, I said, I've got to show this. What we just saw was the absolute perfect breakdown of an oligarchy on the rise. Now, we've known we've always had one. The thing is, it had to be secret. You've had to understand the Supreme Court ruling of money and speech, right? You've had to be in the backroom meetings at the health insurance agencies or at the people who are on Wall Street. What we're seeing now is how an oligarchy works. Somebody cozies up to the Putin, right? Then they compromise the Putin, the president, the whoever it is. I guarantee you there is so much, and it's not just a PP tape. There's so much that this abhorrent, inhumane, indecent, orange human being has done, that the mix of money and compromise has turned him into an actual blob slave to every other person with 2 brain cells and a little bit of money to rub together. Bezos is looking for his in, and he's just thinking, well, I may not have a compromise, but I can just pay $1 million and I'm in. He just wants a friend anyway. Every other...
Musk never had any friends either.
Musk never had any friends. Musk... I think that not only does Musk never have any friends, I think Musk, because he's a richer, more maniacal sociopath. Trump is a clown, right? Trump is an attention seeker and nothing else. Musk is an attention seeker for the purposes of gaining power. Donald Trump wants you to like him, and that to him is power. So the presidency for him means that you like him. That means you like me now. Musk understands the power of the actual presidency, right? That's why he's meeting with world leaders around the world before today. So that's the difference. Like, I want us to understand that there's a big difference of intelligence. Not that Musk is the genius everybody says he is. I'm not saying that he's not, though. I've never been on that. I mean, everybody gets on the train whenever somebody's not a Democrat anymore. They must be stupid. I'm here to tell you, I don't think Elon Musk is a dummy or stupid. I don't think he's just one of those people who just happens to be rich. I think he's maniacal narcissist. And he uses every bit of his brain power to get more power, and every time he doesn't is when he fails. Every time he does it for any other reason than power, he fails, right? Trump, on the other hand, is actually a literal clown, a special ed clown. Okay? So, that's that. But the competition... Here's my question, and we're going to move on. We got just a little bit more time of this, 10:32. I'll make sure that we get to the Canadian news within the next 15, 20 minutes, guys. We just got a lot to cover with this shutdown. Real quick, Laura, what do you think about the idea, the delicious idea, that, quite frankly, when you're dealing with so many people vying for power, and the puppet that they have is such a moron and so morally vacuous. Like not even Reagan was this bad, because even though he was a dummy, he was not morally vacuous, right? Like he still had something he personally believed in. Everybody's going to end up fighting. That's my question. There's no way that we get through 4 years of this and anything happens that everybody who wants control of Trump ends up fighting. There's nothing gets done except crashing economies and growing wealth for maybe 3 people. Even the rich in this country are going to have to say, yo, what the hell is going on in the White House? What's your idea of that?
Well, Trump only wants to rule the world. Musk wants to rule the universe. And all these other rich bastards don't want to be left behind when he burns the planet to the ground.
On that note, so instead of fighting, you believe maybe that there'll be a thing 1 and thing 2, Musk and then Trump, and everyone else will just be paying to ensure that they don't get caught in the fire. That's your idea?
Yeah.
Or is Bezos, because I think these people have big egos too. Like, I don't know if they want to see
Zuckerberg. Another friendless weirdo. I don't know if Bezos has friends. I'm sure he paid them too to be his friends. But
Bezos is actually a cool guy, though.
I don't know I never understood the mentality of wanting to rule the world and wanting to have that much money. I have no idea what's in their minds other than they don't want to not be rich.
Listen, I would love to rule the world. But in that vein, I got to do everything I can to not. Because I also have empathy. I also have morals. Like, I am that guy as well. I want to run things. I want to be in charge of stuff. I like doing that. But I like helping people. I like all the things that I'm doing here, running this channel, running that channel. Then, became a drill sergeant. I'm that guy. Like, I have that same type of ego, but my direction, my arrow is somewhere else. Maybe not the same type, right? Maybe not. But where it's headed is I'm also not a sociopath. That's what I'm saying. The difference is between me and them is the sociopathic need for everyone to be under my rule, as opposed for my purposes, I want to be in charge so everybody isn't under my rule, so everybody is actually doing better, right? And so it's very easy to turn someone like me into someone like a regular senator, and that's what most of the people don't understand. Go ahead.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but even someone like Biden, he has the ego to have gone through 50 years of politics to become president.
Right.
But he was the type of ego that wanted to do good.
But he also had empathy. Ego
Yeah.
plus empathy. All right, guys, let's watch the rest of this, man. I'd love to hear what you're saying in the comments. I'm not ready to do my challenge yet, but I'm going to put that challenge up. Hey, Macaroni, what's up, man? Okay, let's watch some of this.
Okay.
We'll be back.
Then we have Elon Musk at 1:30 a.m. last night. He tweets that AfD is, and this is the far right neo-Nazi party in Germany. He tweets, only AfD can save Germany. Now, I'm a little bit of a...
I'm not back, but guys, I want you to put a pin in that. Only AfD can save Germany. This was said out loud in writing on public space by your vice president, Donald Trump. Put a pin in that, please.
World War II history buff. And it's recorded that Germany and Nazism is not good at all whatsoever. And the appeasement that happened by other countries during the build up to World War II, I think is very similar to what's happening with Trump. You have media appeasement. You have other politicians appeasing. A lot of the Democratic Party is appeasing. Corporate media, 1,000,000% is appeasement. And now you've got Elon Musk, who has Trump on a leash, literally walking him around the globe. And he tweets this.
I found this to be so concerning. I think that Elon Musk is convinced that he is going to be the next or the first and only dominant of the entire world. He's in bed with Putin, China. Now he's on the far right of Germany. He's got the United States in his back pocket. This is terrible.
Good and decent people of YouTube. I come on here just to say really quick that in the new year, I have something coming out that I've been working months on. And it's about the fascism of the U.S. and how it differs from every other fascism that we've had because of simple reasons. We'll talk about it another time. But one of those reasons is we have a history of a very strange entitlement in the oldest democracy, but the youngest country, the fastest growing economy. We have a very strange relationship to entitlement, and the point is, in that documentary, in that piece that comes out at the beginning of the year, I talk about Hitler and how his narcissism differs. I talk about how Trump is really just all about, he believes that everyone should like him because he's great, and because he's great, it makes America great. Whereas Hitler believed his people, whatever color, whatever he thought about, were great and better than everyone else, and he was the one to lead them. Two different ways of thinking. In that documentary, I said that it's very unlikely that a person like Trump will go and try to dominate the world. He'll start wars for personal reasons. But I did not take into account that the person buying him off was that type and has the connections to do it. Do you get what I'm saying? Think about that. I'll be back.
Terrifying, because his views are so Nazi-esque.
So here's what happened in the last 24 hours. So the Republican Party, MAGA Republican Party, led by little Moses Mike, who's just getting browbeat. I mean, he's getting browbeat by Steve Bannon. They're saying he's a fake Christian, which I kind of love all that shit. And he's getting browbeat by Musk and all these other Republicans. So he has a bipartisan deal for the budget. And Elon Musk tweets he doesn't like it. And he psycho tweets unhinged all night long. So the Republicans tank their own bill because they have the gavel. They are the majority party. So then they go into negotiations with themselves.
Right.
And it gets voted down. And then MAGA has the audacity, as they always do, to come out and say, oh, the Democrats killed the bill. I'm like, this was your bill.
Right.
And here's the next stopping point. Laura, join me here. Here's the next stopping point. To be fast. Then we have one more, guys. Please talk to me down there. Talk to me down there in that comment section, because this idea, I think everybody knows now that the bill was killed because President Musk made a tweet. Vice President Trump seconded his master's demand, and all of the idiotic Republicans have painted themselves into such a corner for the past 30 years that they've turned themselves into these sadomasochist imps that go that crawl on the floor in chains held by their masters because God. Because Jesus, right? That's why. There's no other reason. That's because Jesus. And name whatever you want. None of it makes sense except that. So, and the big problem now, as they said, let's hear it again.
So then they go into negotiations with themselves.
Right.
There's no one left to fight. Right? The idea is that the party is built on, I hate the libs, we're fighting with the libs. And the libs have always, the dumb Democrats have always tried to negotiate in good faith with people who hate them, who call them pedophiles, okay? Oh, that doesn't get blocked PDF files, right? And for the first time, the Democrats said, no, we're not playing. We're not gonna bail you out this time for the good of the country, because we realize we're no longer in the fight for the good of the country. While the Republicans have been fighting for the soul of the country, Democrats have been playing a stupid game of fighting for the good of the country, when none of those can be had if the soul is lost, right? So I'd like to know your idea on this. Laura, have you been watching? And I know you got another tab up there. Where's the vote at now, number one? And number two, what's your idea on the fact that the Democrats finally didn't capitulate, didn't go in to save anybody, to save Daniels, while they're trying to get rid of health care for kids with cancer and money for Helene victims? What's going on with that?
You really put me on the spot.
Ah, you got nothing. Look, okay, well, here's the point. If you were here and you saw that the Democrats were acting that way, I'm trying to find out, is it okay for me to feel good that the Democrats finally didn't give in? And even though when this shutdown happens and the TSA is closed down and people can't fly for the holidays and people lose their jobs in the holidays, is it okay for me to feel good that the Democrats finally played the same game that they're in?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's all I need to hear. You said it, so it's okay.
Yeah. I could feel them really wanting to, though.
Yeah, I feel it too.
But, yeah.
You can't, though. You absolutely can't. And if anybody else out there saw Elizabeth Warren getting grilled by, to me, the most disingenuous, ridiculous anchor on CNN. Forget what her name is, but she used to be a White House correspondent years ago. Finally got an anchor desk. And she was talking to Elizabeth like, are Democrats really not going to do anything to join in? And Elizabeth Warren looked at her like, we had a bill. We have a bill ready. What? Why are you even asking me this? The only reason why I should be on your channel is so you can ask me how dumb these Republicans are and how I feel about them destroying us. Don't ask me about why my party should be helping them. Did you ask them that when they said we're going to make sure Obama's a one-term president and he wasn't? Did you ask them that? Come on, man.
No.
Ridiculousness.
I don't know. They're still trying to act like things are normal. They're still trying to both sides it. They're still trying to, make the Dems apologize for what the others are doing. I'm tired of it. I'm so tired. And it isn't January yet.
He's not even sworn in yet, Laura. He's not even sworn in. Guys, I wonder if you realize we've been talking for 40 minutes and he's not even sworn in yet.
Right. Like, I don't know. I know a lot of Americans really don't pay attention and they only hear what they want to hear. But do they really fall for this every time too? Like, didn't the people who are going to be affected by this shutdown finally go, they're doing it again? And they're trying to blame the other side again? Doesn't that ever penetrate? No.
I think what happened is this polarization, this demonization of the other has finally worked. You got to think, they've been doing it since directly after Nixon. That's, God dang it, if they're not persistent. The Heritage Foundation was invented at the end of the 70s, came into Reagan with these ideas on how to ensure that they can continue to demonize, continue to use the Southern strategy. The same guy at Fox News, Roger Ailes, was Nixon's what do you call it, secretary, publicity guy, right? whatever you call it,
Press secretary.
press secretary, but public relations secretary, even more so, and he pressed Reagan to get rid of the Fair Act so that we can just have an influx of these people on the radio and the news just spouting hate and division for 90s, 80s, 90s, 2000, 2010, 2020 for 50 years.
And it got worse with the Trump era, and there's a lot of young adults who were kids and don't remember what a mess he is. But
Well,
again,
that's just the
they
end
thought
of
they
it.
were voting for that fat old turd. But how is everybody feeling about getting President Musk? Like, I'm hearing not a lot
It doesn't
from
matter.
anyone about
That's
it.
what I'm saying is, after 50 years of demonizing, after 50 years of church telling you that the Democrats are all killing and eating kids' blood, after 50 years of thinking that the Democrats want to kill you and destroy your religion and everything. I mean, this is a human nature we're talking about now. This isn't something that just
I guess.
happened. Like, we're talking about
Yeah.
an absolute demonic, diabolical effort of 50 years of demonization to the point where people are scared to say, I voted this way, to their parents, to their loved ones. People are willing. I just heard the other day, and guys, we're going to go to Canada after this because I think we've talked enough about this. I just heard the other day this person say, Kristi Noem, I believe it's Kristi Noem, who was the governor of her state. Where was that? Colorado or Oklahoma or something like
North
that.
Dakota.
South Dakota. North Dakota.
North, I think.
North Dakota. She sends the National Guard down to Texas 5 times in her time there for publicity stunts, for things that don't even affect her people. Meanwhile, in her state, flooding destroyed an entire county of houses. And when they asked for the National Guard to come and help the natural disaster, she said, you know what? I had to weigh the money, and it's expensive to send them. When they you guys won't believe it. I'll try to find it while you're talking about Canada. When they went to
you're going to talk about Texas anyway, so yeah, go find it.
Right. When they went to the people's house who's been destroyed by the flood and who's mad that she didn't send the National Guard to help and asked him, what do you think about Trump naming her for national security because they deal with FEMA? He said, I don't really mind that my house is ruined because she's going to at least stop the abortions and go for the family values that we like. Those were not my words, YouTube. His words were, no. The reporter asked him straight out because she was so flabbergasted at the stupidity and backwardsness of his answer. She asked straight up, so you think, even though you're upset that your house wasn't taken care of and that this whole entire community didn't get any help, she should still be in charge of FEMA? Yes, because at least yes, I don't mind my house being messed up and the damage of our city as long as she can get the abortion thing underway and back to family values. All right, Laura? So that's the answer to your question. No, they don't see it. No, yes, they're okay with Musk.
So in other words, that they're voting for a fantasy in the sky that doesn't exist. So, yeah.
It doesn't matter. They're voting for whatever the imp master says to
same
vote for.
family values people are probably smacking their wives around, getting laid off on the side, and
That's the whole point. They know that. They know Trump. And when you ask them about that, they go, "Well, he's a modern day Ezekiel or whatever, Solomon, whatever the hell Bible reference they try to come up with. He's David. David, King David. That's him." Because David had extramarital sex, he sent his people to the front line to die in service of that extramarital sex. That's you're okay with that? Because he's David? Come on, guys. Come on, guys. The point is, if you're waiting on them to figure it out, it's not happening. What's Canada looking like, Laura? Help me out here.
Well, like you said, it's your turn to see us going through a bit of the struggle and the strife here. But you know, like I said earlier to you off camera, was you know, just because your mango felon in chief took a poke at us, all of a sudden everybody freaks out, you know.
Yep.
And that's it's been coming here for a while too. Like you said, we've got our own like MAGA types up here, and it started probably back around the same time as with Trump. The same sort of propaganda started to filter its way up here, but we don't have the same kind of media punch that you guys have. So it's slower and only isolated in a few pockets, mostly Alberta.
Where
and
is
some of the eastern provinces.
Is Alberta
But
where that
it's not like,
otherwise,
and it's not gambling.
is
Huh?
Alberta where that the lady
Yes.
Trump is from?
Yeah,
Oh God.
yeah. The same province that brought us
I've got
Jordan Peterson, the trucker rally, the QAnon, whatever she is, and Ted Cruz. But yeah, so it's been a bit of that. Like, it really disturbs me to see our highly literate country devolving into a bunch of simp slogans, you know. But it's happening here too. People are saying, "Make Canada great again." I'm like, excuse me. But yeah, otherwise though, the with the Progressive Conservative Party led by Pierre Poilievre calling for Trudeau to step down, that's like every other day here. And you know, and every now and then Jagmeet Singh of the New Democratic Party will say, "Oh, he's got to go, but wait a couple days till I get my pension, and then we'll talk about it." And then there's the Bloc Québécois saying, "Hey, c'est comme ça, c'est comme si, oh, je sais pas, aujourd'hui, demain, je sais." That, you know, it goes on. It's always like that. But you know, now that he's been in the Prime Minister's office for 9 years, people are overall thinking, well, we need a change. But those are the alternatives.
I need to know
Those crazies.
Why did he sound like the candle in Beauty and the Disney's Beauty and the Beast? Why?
I have no idea. I never saw that movie. Je ne sais pas. C'est comme ça. Yeah, well, we gave you the Geneva Convention, eh, Dave?
So, but this time it's
yeah, well,
like it's actually before.
Well,
those threats were always there, but this time it seems like it might actually happen.
well, with the external pressure from your guy and his henchman Holman bullying us, you know, that they just take it for, oh, good, we have another excuse to, you know, push Trudeau out and make him look like a weakling. Let's do it. But you know, he just did a cabinet shuffle after the. I don't know if everybody in our chat knew about the big upset this week in our country. The economic statement was about to come out, and Chrystia Freeland, who's the finance minister, was on a Zoom call with Trudeau, and he told her that he didn't want her to continue as finance minister, and they had disagreements about the spending, and she called it gimmicks with these little, you know, a nice little Christmas present of a tax break for a few people, well, for everybody, I guess, you know, they call it, and then, so that overshadowed a bunch of the bullying from the South, but that called into a whole bunch of stuff, and then and Trudeau made a big cabinet shuffle today, and I haven't caught up with who's replacing who yet, but he did replace Chrystia with his friend Dominic LeBlanc, who is the Minister of Security, and accompanied him to Mar-a-Lago. And they came back and said, well, now we really got to deal with this. I don't know if Christian's going to be able to do it this time. Donald hates women. And that was probably, I'm imagining their conversation on the plane, but it was in French.
Yeah.
And so they came back and pushed her out. And now he has taken her place and is still a security minister. So that kind of kills two birds with one stone, so to speak, because he's got that double portfolio.
Yeah.
And he's not afraid of dealing with these idiots. We'll see. We've committed to strengthening our border anyhow. Even before this threat, we had been putting money aside to strengthen our border for various reasons. And geez, we just finished expanding a bridge to you guys for, what do you call it? Customs and border.
Okay.
We widened a bridge somewhere here in BC to get more people through faster, and I guess that really upset you guys that we're getting more people through faster.
I mean,
I don't.
Wait, so why am I hearing so much about this? Every time I hear somebody talk, it's like, and we're gonna talk. Matter of fact, we can play Charlie. We can play your boy Charlie.
Yeah, Charlie. Oh boy, I'm so glad Charlie is standing up and speaking. Oh, thank you. I really wish, if there's going to be a leadership convention, I hope they do it with all of the parties, and I hope that Jagmeet Singh gets to go off and have his pension, and Charlie will take his place.
Why don't you
and I will vote for him in a heartbeat.
Before we play Charlie, why don't you like Jagmeet Singh? In outside looking in, every time I hear everything he has to say.
He's another one of these. He's a rich guy who decided to become a politician, and he doesn't really do a good job of it.
Okay, there it is.
He's just been propping up Trudeau, and besides, I don't know. It's a lot of things, but that's the main thing.
All right, guys.
He just thought he'd get an easy job and look good as an immigrant, a Sikh with his turban. He puts on this great show of being, Canada's a true mosaic. Anybody can be a politician. They work hard enough and have $1 billion.
Right.
Hey, Sean.
You too had $1 billion. Yeah.
So he doesn't really care about the people. He's out of touch with the people. No matter, though he rides a bicycle to work in Toronto. Looks ridiculous doing it.
He's a virtue signaler. Is that what he's a virtue signaler?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's about it. Yeah.
Guys, I hope that you're not mad that you hear us saying things like that, because, we also believe that people can be. But anyway,
if I mean, just wrap it up. Trudeau is now, with his cabinet shuffle, the Parliament's on a break for the holidays or whatever.
Hey, Sean,
and when they come back in January, he might still do a prorogue, which I explained in my video, but I'll explain again. It's a tool that's used to basically shut down the House of Commons from any voting or debating, but they can still, work with the Governor General will have to agree to it, but they can still fund things and keep government operations going.
At least you guys can still.
So if he does that buys him a little more time. But he's supposed to be doing like his father before him, Pierre Trudeau, when he was in a leadership crisis. He took a long walk in the snow over the Christmas holiday and then made his decision not to run again or whatever. But so Trudeau's junior, Justin, is doing basically the same thing. He's going to consider his future.
But his father was a lot older at that time. I think.
Oh yeah.
Justin is like, yo, I'm too young for this. I think he has to. I think he's going to lose, even if he does decide to run in October. But.
Well, we still don't have any idea who would replace him. Like, there's no real candidates. They're pushing up Freeland as a possible, the woman who just quit, but she's also out of touch. She's not a real person either.
All right, guys.
And she used to work for in the States some financial thing as a financial person, investor. She worked. Oh, I forget. I'll have to do another Canadian about her. So there's no real apparent replacement for Trudeau and the Liberals. And we're supposed to have our federal election in October of 25.
Okay.
But it's all up to Trudeau whether he wants to call it or not,
Yeah.
or whether they do call a non-confidence vote for the 4th time, and this time he loses. Like, anything can happen right now.
Wow. Yeah. So, guys, the 51st state of the United States, Canada.
I'm not gonna.
Get ready, because they're having actual political intrigue for the first time in your life. If this doesn't
Yes.
make you want to start watching Canadian Drain, which is coming out a
Yeah.
lot more often these days, Laura Malcolm.
We're gonna have to get some T-shirts, eh?
Yes, I got the T-shirts coming. I've been trying to think of the best way, and our logo just it doesn't work for those T-shirts.
Yeah.
It doesn't-
But see, people have been comparing it to, like, what if Kamala turned on Biden like Christia turned on Trudeau? Well,
Right.
it's not. There's no comparison.
Right.
I mean, we have nuances that are very different from yours. You don't compare. Like, that's what Joy Reid was doing, basically comparing our situation to yours, which is
Yeah.
not the case at all.
Yeah, and Joy Reid, you gave her the what for
No.
as well. All right, guys, we got 2 more
Twice.
stories to get to.
Twice.
But I want to show Charlie, man. I want to give him a little bit of this
Yes,
because I know you were so happy.
Charlie Angus here, member of the Canadian House of Commons. You know his video that went viral here on the Midas Touch Network, where he gave that speech pushing back against Donald Trump, saying, "You don't bully Canada, Donald Trump." Mr. Angus, what's the latest? What do you want to say to Donald Trump?
Well, listen, Mr. Trump, right now you're trying to shut down the American economy for Christmas. I mean, who does that? And what? Because Elon told you to do that? Like, you are plunging your nation and your people into a world of hurt. And so what are you doing? You decided you're going to pick on your quiet next door neighbor. That's like going to the librarian down the street and shouting at them to divert attention because the cops are after you. No, we're not going to put up with it, Donald. Here's the thing. We've got the world's longest undefended border. We got $100 billion worth of trade. We've got just-in-time delivery going back and forth all across the border. And you want to put not just Canada, but your own citizens in a world of hurt? What? To look like you're tougher than us? Well, go for it. It's going to hurt. It's going to hurt a lot of people on both sides. But the message that I'm hearing from people across Canada is they're not afraid of you, because they know you're a convicted felon. They know that all the people that you bring in to run your organization right now, and I call it an organization rather than a government, are all grifters and thieves and thugs. We got to look after our own interests right now. We will work with your country. We will work with our great neighbors. But Donald, don't push us around.
You know, I've been
You want some more of that, Laura? Is that enough, or you want more? You let me know. Your mics are off. Your mic is off.
Sorry, yeah, Mac is just saying, "Oh, I already love this guy."
Yeah. All right. Listen. Get your fill on Canadian Drain. Everything I know about Canada has come from Canadian Drain. Editing Canadian Drains for the past like 6 weeks. I swear to good. I promise you, I've got family in
Well, you
Canada
know,
and don't know
like
nothing.
you said earlier, our politics is usually very, very boring, and it is, and I hadn't paid attention to it for a couple of decades, so I had to go a couple of months back and relearn how Canada works.
Oh my God. Well, listen, we're gonna take it down to here's the deal. Here's the deal. That same feeling, for some reason, that has turned Canada, Alberta. Let's just say Alberta. We're not gonna go wide sweeping Canada. Alberta into this kind of fear mongering to the point where maybe we could get rid of our single payer health care, or maybe we could. The last thing I heard her say was, we need to stop the influx of drugs and stuff like that from our country. And I'm like, you guys do
She's
know,
a nut job.
you guys do
She's a
know that
complete
there's
nut
no
job.
influx, right? Like the Canadian border is okay. Like the actual number of people who did any type of drug smuggling from or to Canada is smaller than the people who did it in a city in America, in any city in America. Like honestly,
In a small town, in a
any
small
small
town in
town.
America.
I mean, come on. So,
Anyhow, yeah. Well,
but
you see, the thing is that with that jibe about the 51st state, I mean, I'm sure that's what old Don is thinking. Oh, it's just that one place. Because that province, Alberta, has been wanting badly to be the 51st state for so long.
yes, I
Since
heard
like the 80s or 90s, you know, when we had Mulroney in prime minister office.
one of our
So that's where everything went bad.
one of our affiliates said the same thing. One of our friends, I can't remember which one it was, said that they heard from people, you know, who were ambassadors saying that the reason why Donald Trump even said it was because of that that idea that people have been tweeting and saying that from Alberta for years. And so it got to his ear and he's like, oh, really? But guys.
Yeah. And Wayne Gretzky, the great Gretzky, number 99.
Yeah.
Plays golf with the fucker.
Yeah, I know.
He's a maggot, and he's from Alberta.
God. You see, you're heroes, man. You're heroes. But here's why. Here's why that happens, Laura. The demonization of others. When you can successfully, doesn't matter who it is, white, black, others, gay, straight, America, anybody, whatever you can do, if you can make someone demonize another, you can turn yourself into someone who will vote against their own self-interest. And there's a story coming out of Texas, before we go all the way down to Mexico, where we're seeing this whole, what happens after you get a bully and a 50-year demonization project. This is what happens afterwards, what happened in Mexico and happening in Canada, by the way, them doing all this crap to shut down a border that had no issues and spending extra money because of this demonization. But this is what happens. It's funny because it's MAGA. But in Texas, I want everyone to take a listen to this. I want everyone to take a listen to this.
Hey there, folks. Hope you're doing well today. You know, I saw a couple of good videos going around regarding the schools that have closed recently in Texas, and I do think it's worth talking about. I want to begin by making it clear I don't think Donald Trump took an action specifically to close these schools. Instead, I think the policies he's ran on around education that has led the people that run this school district to believe that they are not going to get the funding that they previously got. Donald Trump has said as much when he said he wanted to dismantle the Department of Education.
Really quick, this guy does not have the full grasp. I will show you the full grasp very shortly. In Texas, all of the white, rich MAGA people decided that they wanted to vote for voucher systems, even if they couldn't afford to go to private school, because they knew at least for a fact the black, dirty immigrants wouldn't be able to go to their school if enough of them were shut down. That's the facts. If you don't like it, I'm sorry. Vote for someone else. That's what happened. People who thought that that all of those schools that would be shut down when they voted for the voucher system, even though they knew that their kid couldn't participate because even with the vouchers, it's not enough to go to a private school. They thought their private schools were safe because they were in the upper middle class white area. It was only those darkies. It was only those black, unnecessary people that we love to use, to plant for us. Only they would be affected when we vote in this Republican people. That's what happened. Let's continue.
You combine that with a school district that has been historically mismanaged, and we can see what we have here.
It is the news so many families did not want to hear. Louisville ISD will close 5 elementary schools in an effort to save money.
They did not represent us. They did not represent the people they elected them. And guess what? This energy, we don't give about Austin right now. We care about them not having their jobs.
And this is when giving the power at the state level can become a dangerous thing. Here's an article from May of 2024, and this is talking about an overhaul of the Texas school system, where it discusses the proposed curriculum overhaul was released last week after the Texas GOP proposed requiring the Bible to be taught in public schools. School districts that opt to use them will receive more funding. And my concern here is that this investment into learning about the Bible is not necessarily preparing them for the jobs of tomorrow. The education
Republican, and now you're on the internet. You voted Republican, and now you're on the internet crying because Republicans are literally doing what they said that they were going to do. They literally told you they were going to defund the school.
Right.
And this, I think, is where the rubber meets the road. I think Trump supporters had concepts of ideas of what Donald Trump's term was going to look like. You know, now that we can see it's starting to take shape and the changes that are going to impact ourselves and our families, just wait until they start the deportation camps.
Well, if it ain't the consequences of our own actions, Louisville, aka Denton County, aka Denton County, aka the election results of Denton County, if it's not the consequences of our own actions, if it ain't the around and found out.
And I think this is an opportunity right here to learn an incredibly valuable lesson. You get what you...
I'm going to let it fast forward because of things I have to say, people. He's funny and all, but there's a story here that we need to talk about.
Denton County voted for Donald Trump. Texas voted for Donald Trump.
Yep.
And for those who don't know, Louisville, Texas is, Metro Dallas area, North Dallas.
And this is very interesting, too. When you get to North Texas, there are a lot of well-to-do neighborhoods.
There it is.
And the shutting down of schools is something you've historically only seen in low-income neighborhoods.
Facts.
So to see it happen here is very surprising.
That's what y'all voted for. No, I mean, what happened to school choice? School choice, right? So them shutting down those 5 schools, you should just use your school of choice, get your vouchers, get your homeschool things, and just, school choice, right? Because that's what Donald Trump was promoting.
Now, I have so many problems with homeschool.
Oh, no, it's coming, guys. Don't you worry. There's just... I'm just going to say this one thing right here.
Prepare them for their entire childhood and provide them an education.
Voting, right? Leave it up to the states. You don't need federal protection for schools. You don't need federal. Dismantle the Department of Education, right? Because they just waste money, right?
And so if you take a step back and ask...
There's one piece that you need to see first. May I show it to you, YouTube? And then I'm going to have a small rant. Then we're going to talk about Mexico and the rest of the consequences that we're dealing with. We've been having fun up until this point. We are no longer having fun. Here we go. Watch this.
Louisville, a.k.a. Denton County, a.k.a. Denton County,
a.k.a. what's the stupid name? Denton County. Those are called election results. Those are called election results that you see right there. Donald Trump, 250,000. Kamala Harris, 191,000. But do you know why she got the numbers that she does in that county and many other counties in North Dallas? Because the gerrymandering was so ridiculous that I want you to understand the entire city, counties, and all other surrounding counties would be Democratic, would not have voucher programs for the past 10, 15 years at least. So forget the Donald Trump election, people. I want to get to the next point. Those election results that you see there are only because of demonization. What you did hear the guy say correctly was, normally the shutting down of schools and the ending of entire districts of schools only happens in black neighborhoods, underserved neighborhoods, redlined neighborhoods. If you don't know what that means that for generations, only black people were allowed to live there, so they ensured that they got the property rates down, so it's less taxes, less money for schools, books, teachers, poverty, criminality, and you get what you get. Where we are now, it's called systemic racism. Anybody who tells you that that's not the case, tell them to go fuck themselves. Tell them that you know better. Every one of these MAGA people who loves God, Jesus, and their kids votes red because they know that the voucher program that they can't afford would continue to affect the black and brown, ugly, disgusting others that they have demonized their entire lives. And that would have been okay. What they don't understand is that the rich people see them as disgusting as they see me. Fafo, bitches. Fafo. If you're out there now and you actually think that for some reason your whiteness or your upper middle classness separates you from the dirtiest, darkest Negro or Indian or Mexican, you're wrong. Because until, as much as you vote for them and you get the bits and crumbs that come off the table, it's only a matter of time before you find out that you're as dirty and disgusting as me to those people who have more than you. That's the rant. That's the rant. You deserve it, MAGA. You deserve it. Welcome home. We've missed you. We've been in the redlined areas. We've had our schools shut down every year in every city. Our teachers have gotten less pay every year in every city. We have the worst books every year in every city because you vote for things that you can't even get because it feels good to be better than someone else. And when it comes for you, I laugh in your face. And I can't wait to see your kids come to my school for a change. We're waiting. Welcome home, MAGA. We're welcome home, FAFO. Vote better next time. Now for Mexico. Laura, go ahead. Let me find our Mexican story here. And what are the people talking about there, man? Where's the monkey? Where's the monkey that claps his tambourines? Give him something to smile about, Laura. Guys, that's the only rant. That's the only rant. So, as a matter of fact, I don't need to find it here. We can actually just I can just do a quick look because I'm pretty sure. We're going to look for it here. I want to give the big time shout out, though. We'll see if, we'll see. Well, maybe I have too many things open. I want to give the big time shout out to one of these shows that we have actually been enjoying. That's been giving us a lot of good information, and I don't want to get it wrong. Because I will not be able to pronounce it correctly unless I'm reading it. So just hold on, guys. Let me close down all these tabs. I'm asking a lot of my computer. Yeah. Hey, by the way, real quick while I'm looking for this, did you see any updates on the government shutdown? Did they? Because we only have till midnight, guys. I don't know if you know that. Like, it's happening. It's happening right now. We only have until midnight. Before the government shutdown happens. So they're supposed to be getting some bill that they think can pass. Ooh, what happened?
Oh, her husband is back from the hospital, but she had trouble getting him into the house. He fell out of the car, couldn't get him off the ground, had to drag him in on a blanket.
Oh my God. And she laughed. Benny, Benny, you gonna laugh at him like that?
I got it on video. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so you see the headlines here. Migrants endure freezing nights at U.S.-Mexico border, but there's more. I'm talking about inside, okay?
Can you hear me, Bruce?
Huh?
They're saying I'm muted.
Yeah, you were, but you're back now.
Oh.
Or you should be.
Okay.
Yeah, I saw that. Man, all right, well, I guess I will just put it in here. Because I don't want to use the outside. I don't want to use the outside people. I want to use reporting from inside, really, is what I want to use. Yeah, here's a good. These guys. Let me just shout out their name because if you're watching, we would love to have you. We would love to have you come join. I know you have a rant inside of you. I know you have a rant inside of you. Let's see if I can pronounce this name. Not millennial. Here we go. Soberania Mexico podcast. Soberania Mexico podcast. Guys, go check them out. Everything they do, everything they talk about has been good so far. And the one of the things that we saw from them was them talking about Canadian businesses in Mexico, and whether or not we can get them on or to join us even for an interview. I'm still going to say check them out. I love the work that they're doing.
Yeah, agreed.
Honestly, right? So let's see if I can find them.
Is the link in the chat? Yeah, you want to drop the link in the chat?
Yeah, drop it in there for me because I can't seem to find it. I got them on here, but if you can, I want the link to the story of what they're doing to the migrants in Mexico before we leave.
Very much how, the United Kingdom, Great Britain, used their experience repressing the Irish population to take that abroad, take that internationally when it came to repressing people in other parts of the world. You take your
President Sheinbaum has new laws that seem to me like no matter what's going on outside, that she's looking like she's really being tough. The external look has been really tough. Like, hey, we're here to build bridges. Internally, they start clamping down on migrants. And I don't even know how to feel about that, except for the fact that it really is, it's scary to know that one idiot, because we have so much money in this place, because we have so much influence in this place, one idiot bully can have this much control on an entire continent. The entire North American continent is doing things that no other country but us has ever done to their migrants, to their borders, to Alberta. And this has been happening from well before Trump, yes, Alberta. But what we're seeing is, it should be scary to everybody. We need a coalition of all of us, and we need to be spreading information amongst all of us. Did you get that in the chat yet?
No, I'm still looking.
Yeah, me too. I could
I'll
not
find
find it. I don't know why. So we'll see. Anyway, guys, Soberania Mexico podcast. Go check them out. They don't have the.
Can you spell that for me? Can you spell that for me? S-O?
Yes.
Soberania? Soberania? Mexico?
Soberania. Soberania. Soberania Mexico podcast.
Yeah, got it.
Awesome. You put it in there.
Yeah. What the hell?
It seems like we've been going a bit too hard on this chat. We can't even find what we're looking for anymore. There's so much stuff.
Yeah, I got to clear out that Google chat from all the old messages. There we go. It's a drop. It's good now.
This is crazy.
I got it.
Found it? All right, yeah,
Yep.
Send me that. We're just going to take a listen to this, guys. I won't have as much in-depth reporting as someone from there, but I just want you to think about the far-reaching things that you don't normally hear about or see about. In this continent of ours, you can put it in the other chat. In this continent of ours, we are definitely connected. All right? There is no just the U.S. There is no just the
That's
U.S.
another thing that sickens me in Canada. There's been those conservatives saying, let's get rid of Mexico too.
Yeah.
So we are all right, Jack.
And there it is. And before you know it, it turns into, did you send it on the chat?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
I don't see it.
I dropped the link to the channel. Yes. Are you on live chat or top chat?
Oh, okay. Here we go. I thought you were gonna put the link to Sobrani. No, I know that one. I wanted the link to that story. That story. I'm glad you put that in the chat though. But I wanted the link.
Oh, okay.
To that story.
Canadians mine strip Mexico bare?
No, that was their story, but that wasn't the one I wanted to talk about. I gotta go my history. Guys, stick with me. You're gonna want to see this story. I promise you. Just hold on. And it's the last one. And I just want to show how connected we are. How it's easy to infect because of the power that we have, because of the power of the purse that we have, how easy it is to infect the countries around us. And then you even hear things like what Laura just said, like all of a sudden Canada is okay with getting rid of Mexico's or doing things that would hurt them in order to save their behind. And this is how it works when people start living in a hand-to-mouth situation and always in a fight-or-flight situation. You start turning on one another. Let's see if we can find it. Here we go. All right, got it. This is from MND, another news channel from Mexico.
Over 5,000 migrants were detained in a single day across Mexico, a dramatic move ahead of U.S. President-elect Donald Trump's inauguration. The Mexican Army, Navy, National Guard, and state police were all involved in a rescue operation. The term is often a euphemism for detention. Facing dangers like human trafficking, many of these migrants will likely be deported back to their countries of origin. The mass detention coincided with the largest fentanyl bust in Mexican history, seizing over 1 ton of the synthetic opioid. Mexico's government may use these actions to show the U.S. government their commitment to controlling migrant and drug flows. Trump's campaign heavily focused on stopping migrants and drugs, threatening a 25% tariff on Mexican and Canadian exports if the countries do not take action. Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum's administration is stepping up detentions and interventions as it tries to fight off accusations that it has not done enough to stem the flow of migrants across the U.S. border. Trump has also claimed that Sheinbaum agreed to stop migration, although she has denied any such agreement, advocating for building bridges instead. Sheinbaum highlighted a 75% decline in migration to the U.S., crediting President Biden's new border policy. Concrete actions like these detentions and drug busts are likely to play an important role in Mexico's argument against Trump's tariff threats. Visit mexiconewsdaily.com for more.
All right, guys, let me tell you what is scary about the minutia, the nuances. Number one, could you have done more? Obviously, now we see you could have. Could you have done more about the fentanyl coming in? Yeah, you could have. On the other hand, what that news story doesn't tell you is that has nothing to do with the 85% of Americans who go across the border and bring it in. 85% of all fentanyl brought in over the border is from Americans who cross the lines. So yeah, she did find a ton of fentanyl being brought in, and they're being detained and turned back to their other country. What they don't tell you is that ton is only 15% of the whole 100% that's being brought in by us. So does it make a difference? No, it didn't make a difference. All it's doing is making sure that the majority of people at the border who need to come over have been stopped and detained and will be sent back and be held in camps that will not be sufficient for human beings. And it will be applauded by Americans who don't, just like the Texas MAGA people, who don't have to worry about it because it's not them. So that's what I want you to know. So yes, the bullying seemed to work, even though externally, Claudia Sheinbaum, President Sheinbaum, not to disrespect her, because she put on a good face. She really sounded strong. And maybe Trump was right. Maybe they could have done a lot more to stop it. I also can tell you, geopolitically, the reason why before it hasn't been stopped is because America needed the migrants, and we've always done all of our immigration with a wink and a nod. That's why. That's why. Because intelligent people, the people who aren't so racist it has bore a hole in their brain like RFK's brainworm, realize that we can talk tough about immigration, but daggone it if we don't need it. Immigration has propped up this entire country, and continues to monthly. All the places that are having every new business right now that needs people to work in those places, there's not enough people in America to work in them. Immigration has boosted our economy. Immigration bolsters our social security net because they don't get out what they put in. Intelligent people, smart people, have understood this for a long time. So maybe Trump was right, and maybe they could have done more. I'm here to tell you the reason why they didn't do more was because America wasn't really trying to push the issue. Well, now we will. And Scheinbaum doesn't seem to be half as strong in her own country as she is in ours. I'm just saying, I hope I'm wrong, but that's why I need you, Soberania Mexico podcast. I need you, Mexico Daily News, to sit here at this table and tell us, let us know. I would hate to be wrong. But until then, guys, we've got to get our news from every other source we can in every other country that's available to us. BBC is there. Don't listen to RTN. Don't listen to Russian news.
American news stations have been going downhill for a very long time, and they're going faster now. So, yeah, we have to look elsewhere. We're doing it ourselves.
American news stations are groveling and tickling the balls of Donald Trump. That's what's happening. Don't let it be misunderstood.
Not just Trump, not just Trump, but yeah.
Not just Trump, but no. Now it's just now it is just Trump. Now they're scared. ABC gave Trump money for his library. The man who can't read past the 3rd grade level, who just typed
and wants to burn books,
who just typed in Truth Social, everybody wants to be my friend. He has a library. He's unread, uncouth, illiterate. His education has been bought and paid for through ill-gotten means and lies and deceit. The only book he's read is Mein Kampf. And he has a library because ABC decided they can donate to it. Settle the lawsuit rather than fight him. Because you know what? He's going to be president for the next 4 years. And fighting with Donald Trump is going to be bad for our bottom line. MSNBC, CNN, ABC, all of them, in some way or other, have made that business decision. You know why? Because all of them are owned by the same people who are paying Donald Trump for his inauguration. Until that stops happening, stay here. Political drain. We don't have enough money to pay Trump. we don't have enough money.
I'm not getting a penny out of this. And I don't care. I'm having fun. I'm sticking it to the maggots.
Yes. And if we did have enough money to pay Trump, I'd give it all to the Sons of Liberty channel to bolster the next revolution. That's what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Listen, guys, give us your money. I was gonna put up a goal, but we didn't have enough people. So if you'd like to donate, you can. If you want to become a member, you can. We finally, because of you, have enough people and watch time and hours that we've been able to do things like get members. You can join the channel.
Yeah.
You can leave.
Yeah, we're coming up on 7,000 subs all of a sudden. I mean, last week, just a week ago, it was like 3,000.
Disney, not ABC. That's correct, Dave Ingham. Yeah, last week we were at 3,000. This week we're at 7,000 because Canadian Drain came out with a 25,000 view show. And no, not saying nothing, not pointing no elbows and nothing like that, right?
Everybody wants to be my friend.
Everybody wants to be Laura's friend. Guys, become her friend. We're here. There's other independent channels. I don't recommend all of them. Be honest with you, I don't recommend all of them. There's a lot of weak sauce channels. Okay? There's a lot of weak sauce channels right now telling you about look at Benny Loco supporting the cause.
Benny! Aw, thank
Loco.
you, darling.
Okay, so this is what happened. I don't know if you guys know this, but whenever someone does support the cause, they get no matter what time, even if we're just about to log off, we're not going to log off. We're going to play the special song for all the people who...
Woo! Movie people, you rock!
Benny Loco, Benny Loco, go Benny, Benny Loco, go. Okay, that's enough. Oh no!
Dave!
We got another one. Dave got 10.
Oh,
thank you. Go Dave! Go Dave! Big Dave! Go Dave! Go Dave! Big Dave! Go! 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 Go Dave! Woo! All right. All right. No matter what time it is, we got to give them the dance. Big Dave in the house, Benny Loco in the house. Thank you guys. Thank you guys. Listen.
Macaroni, Jay. Oh, God. Who else? Dave.
Who else came in?
Benny. Did I miss anyone?
There
Sean.
were like 15 people just lurking out there, too. We see you guys.
Yeah.
We see you
We
guys.
see you.
We're happy
We
to
see
have you. Agolf Twitler. Agolf Twitler came through. Woo.
Agolf, yes. I call him Jay. Sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. Jay came through. All right, guys, listen. You're going to get more of this. It's no longer TGI. Sean Brennan came through. Almost forgot about that. It's no longer fun and games. So we've decided to get rid of the Thank God Just Friday. What we're doing now is we're trying to build a coalition. And this is the new this is the new spot. 10 o'clock on Fridays, not every Fridays, but on Fridays when it comes, it'll be 10 o'clock, and it's called the North American Report. We're trying to find our Mexican correspondent, and I'm here to tell you that not all independent news is good news. Find the ones who aren't weak. Find the ones who aren't telling you that for some reason Luigi Mangione is some sort of a degraded or shouldn't. I'm not saying that you need to go off somebody, but what I am saying is if you see him as bad, but the insurance companies as at least not 10 times worse for the amount, 100,000 times worse. Hey, watch out. Hey. At least let me wait till I turn off my. You gotta do that in private. I can neither confirm nor deny that Laura Malcolm is okay with offing insurance company CEO.
That's just my Wiccan Athame. I'm just doing the circle. I'm cutting the circle. I'm not doing nothing.
It's religious.
And just by chance, I found this tarot card out of my mom's funny tarot deck, and it's the Dildo Wizard.
Oh my God.
So let's hope that's a foretelling of all this stuff.
Last time we got a telling from your mom. Trump won. So I'm not sure.
Maybe it was a bad reading because this card was missing out of her deck.
I will take that. And on that note, people, join, subscribe, like. If you want to be a part of the revolution, if you want to be a part of what we're doing, the actual, inner workings of the resistance, email us. Shh. Email us. It's on every single video. If you just want to join in and support media that's going to be giving you the news you're going to need and not going to be told by others, come back, join, subscribe, share this. Share this. We love you guys. All of it.
Happy Solstice.